Welcome to Tecmo Tuesday, and welcome to the divisional round of the playoffs. We're doing the 1976 NFL season as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting this expansion team to the divisional round by beating the Cardinals in quite the dramatic finish. We'll be taking on the Lions. And I'll also be simulating the other three playoff games. So, because I have to do, very much like last week, I have to actually simulate the Patriots and Steelers game first, because it goes in order from left to right and down. What I'm going to do is I'll do that game, but then I will present the Cardinals-Lions game first, and then reverse back to the other games. So I will cut the video here and move on. Alright, it is now time for the NFC Divisional Playoff game. It is against our arch rival, the Lions, who we did not play at all during the regular season because of the scheduling, the quirky way that it was during the expansion years at this time. The Bucs played all AFC teams, and they were in the AFC for that first year, but the game... The ROM does not have that as the case. One good thing about playing the Lions and Tecmo in this year, we're not going against Barry Sanders. But, it doesn't mean that they can't be getting first downs with Bussy or Busey. Definitely the primary runner. He's the only one besides Landry who has a run. I guess they're running the same run and shoot offense as the Lions do, despite the fact they didn't have a run and shoot offense. Oh, I thought I was gonna fuck that up. Are they going deep? I thought he was gonna go to nice block. All right, good, because I was like At first, I was a little bit worried there. As soon as I saw the ball was going deep, that I had taken my guy off the play. He was going for the other receiver. But even still, good work by the drones. I need all the help I can get. And they just smothered me there. So we did not get Carter back from injury, but I do have McNeil in still. He is in excellent condition. And I swapped out John McKay Jr., who is in rough shape, for Barry Smith, who is in good condition. So we get a stop on defense. That's good for a first drive, and a tough start here by they called the play that we called, and there we go, down for a loss of 2. Oh man, I had a guy too. I had him. Alright, just about. The defenders got there. But not before I could get the first down. Or before I could get the reception. Obviously, I got the first down as soon as I made the catch. Yeah, they got themselves a tough run defense. Yeah, see, even after breaking loose a couple defenders, the next guy in line is there to make up for it. Oof, that was tough. I thought that diving defender was going to either break it up or get the pick. Ugh, man, that did not... Sending that guy in motion did not deter the defenders and make them think the play was going in the other direction. That did not happen. Damn it! Oh! I was eyeballing him too. I was like, do not jump up and knock the ball away. I was not expecting a pick, though. Ugh. That hurts. Oh boy, and you know what else hurts? Calling a run, and I did not dive! I hate it when they fucking do that. They assume control over the guy that I have control of, and just make him dive for me. And it's like, I do not have any reason to do that. I'm giving up. Again! What the shit? You know, I did not press the dive button. I would not dive from that distance. The fuck? There's nothing more frustrating in the game than that, because anything else I can accept. You know, if I get outmaneuvered, it's like it's on me. I'm the one that's got control of the guy and I fuck up. But when they fuck up on my behalf, fuck you. There was nothing to gain. Both of those dives were terrible dive decisions. Not just because they missed, but they were from... I mean, they were so far away, I had no chance of reaching them. And it was so risky, because there was, you know, I'm the safety. Maybe I'll change it up next. I mean, it's like I had a decent, you know, job of defending in the first drive, so... I don't know. I don't want to just, like, give up on my initial game plan. Alright, Owens has been open Owens, I guess, so far on these passes. Oh, I gotta get the hell out of there. Yeah, I wasn't getting much yardage there, but at least I wasn't running right into the friggin', into the teeth of the defense. They were all swarming. Ah, there they are again. They are, yeah, cannot get the ground game going. Don't, oh man, just about. Holy fuck, that defender got there. And, you know, I should have known better because of how Spurrier, just, his passes are slow. And if it takes some time for the ball to get there, then you're just asking for the defense to get involved. I'll let the time tick a little bit. Well, it's going to stop at the 2-minute warning. Ugh, there they go again. Cannot get the ground game going. I'll let it tick one more time. Alright. Let's get this. We can get the first down without scoring. Although the goal is to score. Oh, you bitch. He was open. I hate those end zone plays where the defender stands in the back of the end zone, because a lot of times the ball just goes a little bit too far. Ugh, man. Just about. So, we gotta keep these guys from scoring. Oh, man, they got... Ugh, that was... They have a fast fucking returner. I'm gonna go back to playing safety just because I can't... Oh, shit. They go... Oof. I think that because I had the defender where I had him, it steered him in the opposite direction. Or at least I didn't dive. Where the hell am I? Oh, no, you tackled him too quick. Oh, yeah, they're going to get the fucking field goal off. I was hoping to actually tackle him a couple seconds later. Miss it, block it. Miss it. Fuck it. Ugh. So they're going for the double dip. I mean, not a double dip because they're not getting the ball, but, you know, now they have a 7-point lead on us. It was a rough, oh man, that pick in the first drive really shanghaied us. Man, they are just calling everything. What the fuck? You know, it's like, what can I do? Oh my god. Ugh. Come on, man. That's been the bread and butter today. He's covered now. Alright, get the first down. It's only a touchdown difference. You know, like, they've been outplaying us, but, but it's only a touchdown. We just got to find a way to get in the end zone. It's been very elusive to us so far. I've been kind of doing run pass, run pass. I'm gonna go for the fucking jugular here. Oh, everybody's covered. Ugh. And I was just about to throw it to the receiver in the middle of the field, which would have been dangerous. I might have been better off taking a sack there. He's covered, isn't he? Oof. Nobody was open, and... Alright, just about. I got it. Oh my god, that was close. Oof. Oh man, that was... Again, just like that, he was open, but then the defender got there just as shit was about to hit the fan. Alright, you know, it's like still haven't gotten any big runs yet, but at least we're not getting stuff behind the line like that. Alright. This is interesting, you know, I'm not even gonna think about what happens if I don't get this. Because I would much rather just get the damn touchdown. Alright, it took 3 full quarters to make it happen. But we got in the damn end zone and we tied up the game. Alright, now we gotta play some damn D. And actually, we gotta play some damn, you know, special teams coverage here. This guy is quick. Come on, guys. There's no way we're keeping him behind the 20. Oh! I got sucked up in the wash over there. Yes, I was thinking in my head, like, please pick it off. I didn't want to say anything and kind of jinx it, but we got it. All right, now let's capitalize. I mean, turnovers are big. We saw what happened when we turned the ball over ourselves. How big of a deal that can be. So let's make them pay for their mistake. Alright, let's... Alright. Touchdown. You know, that play was designed to go to the tight end. But I had, you know... I had in mind to keep my eye on Owens for that pass because, you know, he's had some pretty good luck getting open today, and I thought that was a good time to go for it all, if he was open. But you know, again, that was actually my first choice was the tight end. Man, another fumble would be sweet here. So, here we go. Last 2.5 minutes of the game. Oh, man, they just ran to the opposite side of the field. Oh, shit. Come on, guys. Don't dive. Just catch up to him. Just catch up to him. Don't dive. Don't dive. Just catch up to him. Shit. Yeah, you know, in a way, I almost feel like it would have been better off just letting him score. Gives us time to score here. But don't, you know, we can still stop him. Oh, man. A pick would have been absolutely wonderful right there. You can still stop him. Man, even if they break tackles like that, we can still stop them. Here we go, 4th down. I do have a single back play called. It's not the same one. Oh, are you kidding me? He threw it to a crowd. Oh, you know, they don't have Barry Sanders, but they have Charlie Sanders. Shit, sorry, I keep hitting the mic. I was just trying to stretch a little bit. Let's see if I can get a block extra point. Alright. Wow. You know, it's like we... we got a lot of hope there when it came down to 4th down that we were gonna... Alright, so we don't have to get it all at once here, but we can get close enough to a field goal. Or we can just get it all at once. Alright, I'm gonna let it tick. Oh, shit. This is a tough... You know, because these plays, they go by fast. They go by like that. I'm just gonna kick it now. I'm just gonna kick it now. Alright. So now we just... It's mostly the return. And this guy is fast. But we might be able to tackle him before as the time runs out. And yes, this will be it. This will be the only play. And they smother him behind the 10. Wow, what a game. So, definitely, it took a little while for the offense to get warmed up. They were asleep for most of the first half. And it took them till the end of the 3rd quarter to get in the end zone. But we figured it out, and, you know, they played good defense in the 2nd half for sure. There was that one drive at the end where they got down there, and we held firm up until that 4th down play where they were like, it was double coverage on this receiver in the end zone, and I thought for sure there was no way he was gonna make that catch. Somehow he did, just to make it more dramatic, you know, of course. But 20-17, we win the game on the field goal at the end. And moving on to the NFC Championship. So I will cut this video here. I will show the playoff game that I already simulated, and then I'll move on to the next playoff game after that. All right, so now we move on to the AFC Divisional Round, and Jess Phillips will be back for the Pats, going up against the mighty Steelers, who were a force during this whole freaking decade, pretty much. From 72, I think, was the year of the Immaculate Reception. That was their first playoff game during that era. It might have been the first postseason game for Pittsburgh altogether. I don't know if they ever made the playoffs at all back in the day before that. Definitely during the Noel year. And, you know, a lot of people that I've talked to get confused and think that year was... you know, a Super Bowl year for the Steelers, but it wasn't. That was the undefeated Dolphins. So, I don't get too... As much as... I mean, for one thing, I wasn't there. I wasn't alive yet. I was still 11 years removed from being born. So I wasn't that too broken up about the Immaculate Reception because I didn't see it happen. And here's a touchdown for the Pats. Andy Johnson gets a big run into the end zone and strikes first for the Patriots. Anyway, between not being around to see it and the fact that the Dolphins were undefeated and, you know, yeah, they played a soft schedule, but you can't argue with results. They beat everybody in front of them. You know, it was pretty much their season to. That was their year. And it was a sack by Steve Nelson. This has not been a good start for the Steelers so far. Oh, that was a bad pass by Bradshaw. There was the receiver along the left sideline, or his left, you know, the top of the screen, was definitely open, and that pass was an overthrow. It didn't even. That receiver was covered, and the guy that got the pick wasn't even the one that was covering him. He just happened to be deeper and in the right place at the right time. And look at this. Speaking of right place at the right time, that pass was caught in a crowd. Gets a first down. I don't like to do those risky throws into coverage that, you know, get you maybe just past the marker or something like that. Especially when you're in, enemy territory. Really, there's no good place to turn the ball over. If you're in enemy territory and you turn the ball over, you know, you're blowing an opportunity. And if you turn the ball over in your own territory, it's like you're giving them really good position to get some points. Speaking of points, the Pats get on the board again. Well, they were already on the board. They changed the scoreboard again with another score by Johnson, and here we have a 14-0 game, just like that. You know, it's the 76 Pats were not a team to mess around with. They were a wild card team, but they were very dangerous. They almost beat the Raiders, who were the top seed and eventual Super Bowl champions. Franco Harris. They're not giving up on their game plan. Either that or they're nervous about Bradshaw throwing another pick. Although, I wouldn't take the ball away from him. And, and as I say that, Haynes, a Hall of Fame cornerback. And that was a terrible quarter for the Steelers. But, they get they do get a stop, get the ball back. And that was, oh, God, Bradshaw, what are you doing, man? I don't usually root for the Steelers, but right now I'm rooting for a good game to happen. I want to see... a lot of these games that I've simulated for this playoff run have not been very competitive. Not to mention, I do want to see Steelers Raiders, because that's the ultimate rivalry of the AFC during that decade, maybe even of the whole NFL, was the Raiders and the Steelers. And I think it would be cool to see them battle it out for the AFC title game. Going for the end zone. Oh, not for the end zone. He would have been short, but that was close. Also was well covered. The Patriots secondary has been pretty stingy so far in this game. They got 2 picks. And they've been just generally well covering. Look at that. See, he catches up to him. He was open, but the defender caught up to him, and now they're having to settle for 3. That is a real, I've been there before, playing against defenses that, you know, it just seems like you think you have a completion. You think you at least have an open guy, and you're just hoping that he makes the catch. And then the next thing you know, he's blanketed. Like, where the hell did that come from? Here's Johnson again getting a nice first down. He ran through some traffic. It wasn't like it was a wide open field, but he got through. So the Steelers stopped the bleeding with that field goal, but, you know, they're still down 2 scores, and that sack helps out a lot. There's not going to be a lot of time. I mean, it's second down, and still, there's still plenty of chances here to convert for the Pats. Look at that, nice blocks. Got past a few guys, and now it's going to be 3rd and short. But there are only 47 seconds left, so realistically, you know, they're trying to get a field goal out of this drive here, and they do get the first down just about. A lot of shake and bake there, maybe a little bit too much, considering there's not a lot of time left in the half. They're probably going to only run this one other play if they do get into range. They'll end up just kicking it, and they pass it off to Cunningham. And look at that, it gets through another wave of defenders, and they will have time to kick a field goal to close out the half. And Smith puts it through. So wow, that was tough to take if you're the Steelers. Even though you're still down 2 scores, you need touchdowns. You can't be kicking any field goals here. Still, now you have to score 2 touchdowns just to tie it. And that's very, you know, it's doable. It's not like they're dead in the water or anything like that, but you've also got to play defense. And, I mean, at the end of the day, the only reason why they didn't give up a touchdown on that drive is just because the Pats ran out of time. I mean, not to say they wouldn't have stopped them, but the Pats they did just get a first down at the end. It's just that they had to get points before the half ended. And look at that, no, nice play by the whoever that was that came in and helped out Blair by knocking the defender over. He was all tied up, but then his teammate came and knocked the defender on his ass. Blair has been the guy they've been handing the ball to in these playoffs, not as much to Franco. And there it is again to Blair. But this time they saw it coming and they stuffed him. 3rd and 9, they will go to Franco up the middle there. Wow, very conservative play calling. I do not agree with it at all. I know I don't want to be, you know, Moose Johnson over here or Steve Tasker second-guessing the play, and it doesn't help when you miss the field goal on top of it. I hate when broadcasters second-guess the call, but, I mean, that's one of those, because it's easy to say after the fact. It's one of the reasons why I like Madden so much. He never did that shit. And here I am doing it. But at the same time, if you would have... I mean, I know for a fact, if you would have asked me before, on 3rd and fucking 9, when you're down 2 scores in the 3rd quarter, in enemy territory, unless you're going to go for it, which I would have had no problem with that call if they had gone for it. Just for the record, if you know, you're trying to set up a 4th and short. Oh, a fumble! And the Steelers get it back, so they lucked out there. See, now, that turnover would mean so much more if they had scored a touchdown on the last drive. So there's still, that helps a lot. I mean, there's still time. It's 3rd and 4 now. They've just been running the ball. I think I mean, Tecmo doesn't have the out. Look at that. They do the play action and take a big sack by Mike Haynes. Ooh, man. It's been rough. It's been rough for the Steelers' offense. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what goes into the play calling of Tecmo's AI. I don't think that they have game plans, and I don't think that they stick with what's working. I don't think that they detract from what's not. I don't think it's that smart. Because I've seen shit like, well, I mean, you know, running the ball on 3rd and a mile, not a mile, but 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, and then and then not going for it when you're in enemy territory down 2 scores. That's something that just, you know, it would be a... I'm not going out on a limb and saying that that's a bad play call. You know, it's not too deep with situational football as far as the AI goes, but I mean, for an NES game, it's really good. And sometimes it surprises the hell out of me, you know, how accurate it is and how realistic it is, especially for the time. And that play has been breaking the Steelers. They have to... This game will be put on ice if they kick a field goal or get any kind of score. And look at that. See, nice safe pass there. You don't want to risk throwing a pick when you have the lead like this. A 2-score lead. And then they are throwing a ball into coverage. Right after I compliment them, they go ahead and fuck around with it. But they have to, I mean, they have to get him, they have to stop him here. And they have to somehow miss a field goal for the Steelers to have any kind of chance. And even then, it's going to be a long shot. That's going to be good. No, it isn't. Wow. I thought that I thought there were... The accuracy meter, how it works is the closer you are, the better the chance you're gonna get it through, no matter how off the accuracy meter is. I mean, as off as the accuracy meter will affect it, if, you know, you're fairly inaccurate with the meter, but you're closer, you have a much better chance of getting it through. So I was surprised that because of how short the field goal was that they actually ended up missing that. So the Steelers are still alive, but they can't be getting stuffed. They can't be running the ball here. They got to be getting points fast. They can't matriculate. It's not a good idea. And they're doing play fakes, which again, because of how long they take to develop, it's another reason why I don't like those play calls. And now we got Lewis hurt for the Steelers. When it rains, it pours. Although they finally get a first down. I can't remember the last time they got one. Why is Stallworth a backup? Hand off to Blair, and that fumble. Well, you know, it's like, again, it's funny how, because in Tecmo, I mean, for one thing, you're down. You need to score. You need to be passing the ball. But it's funny how you actually, sometimes it's safer to throw the ball in Tecmo because you have more control over the turnover factor. When you're running the ball, the fumbles can happen at any time. Like, I mean, it is like real life, but you can't protect the ball or anything like that. I guess the best you can do is run it to the outside and stick to the sideline, because the fumble has a better chance of going out of bounds. But still, it's like you're flirting with some potential disaster by running the ball. Not to mention that you generally aren't going to be... like, if you throw the ball, you also are sending it further away from the line of scrimmage, so if a turnover isn't as hurtful. So the final score of this game, providing that it doesn't change here on this net list, this final play, will make the game look like it was a little bit more competitive. 17-3. Oh yeah, good job, first down. Game over. You know, it looks like you look at the scoreboard, you think, okay, Steelers had a tough time offensively, as they did, but you know, they at least stayed within range, and you know, like, it was never out of reach, but you never got the feeling that the Steelers were going to come back in this game. 17-3 doesn't really tell the whole story. There was not that the Pats were a monster force on offense either, but they definitely they didn't turn the ball over, for one thing, or they did turn it over once, but they didn't they capitalized on the turnovers, and they You know, they got some big runs. Mainly those Andy Johnson runs that broke through and got to the end zone were the difference of this game. And the Patriots just had a stifling defense, especially the pass defense. So that, I mean, look at the Steelers ran the ball for twice as many yards as they threw. Of course, it helps that they didn't throw the ball that often, but when you consider how the Patriots defense was, I can't say I can blame them all that much. But it is what it is. Whatever. The Patriots are going to the AFC Championship. I know that's something that you hear a lot these days, or at least in this. In the 21st century, but this was 1976. That did not happen very often at all for the Pats. So, this was an upset and a big win for the Patriots. So now I'm going to cut the video here and move on to the next AFC playoff game. Alright, so now we are all caught up. We've got Patriots and Steelers. The Patriots beating the Steelers 17-3, and we had us beating the Lions 20-17. Now we move on to Raiders and Bills in the other divisional game to see if we will have either Raiders and Pats, a rematch of the actual divisional round of the AFC that year, or if we'll have an AFC East battle for the AFC title game, with the Bills advancing to take on Patriots. I am rooting, of course, for the Raiders. That's my team. I was hoping for Raiders and Steelers, but, you know, maybe we'll end up getting the complete opposite, and we'll have Bills and Pats. And Hooks just tearing through the Raider D on the first play to get inside the 10. And big first down is first and goal, and now almost a touchdown on the next play. Ferguson's gonna run it in now. That's it. I mean, that's it. Like as if that's the end of the game. I mean, that's it for that drive. A very methodical. It was just it was hand the ball off and plow through everybody. OJ wasn't even you know, the one destroying people that time. So let's see what the Raiders have up their sleeves. And Van Egan almost gets a first down on the first play of the drive. They do the exact same play, and it gets another 10 plus. Play fake this time. He throws it to the wrong guy. He's the Branch. I mean, you know, I want to say it was Bolitnikoff on the opposite side who was wide open. You can't argue with the results. He made the catch. And Stabler made himself famous for throwing a wild pass into the end zone into what became known as the Sea of Hands. So, you know, and the catch was made. So, you know, again, can't argue with the results. And but it's still, you look at that pass and you're like, don't throw it there. That one was a little bit more, I guess, rational of a decision. But they'll have to kick a field goal because it is fourth down. And just about get the field goal off the upright. So both teams get on the board, but the Bills got in the end zone. And here we are. I mean, so much of a difference can be made. And there's a pick. You know, so much of a difference can be made with red zone efficiency is what I was going to say, but so much of a difference can also be made with turnovers. It's, you know, one of the most important statistics in the game are the turnovers. Especially when you capitalize, you get into the red zone on the first play after the turnover. Stabler has some options here. He is going for a touchdown. You know, I think that everybody was so hung up on all the, you know, the obvious choices. Although, like I said, there were some options. The defenders were not covering too well. Looked like it was a little bit of a mess back there. So now it's 10-7. Interesting first quarter. It was looking, you know, the Bills just paved their way through like a knife through butter. And now another pick. Oh boy, the fortunes are turning here. And now Van Egan with a huge run inside the 10. It's 1st and goal from the 7. Oh, they had that one snuffed out. Ben Williams with the sack. And another blitz. So the Bills are looking to at least stand their ground here. 3rd and 18. This is it's 3rd and goal. But this is a big down here, and that was a a big stop for the Bills, because 17-7 would have been, I mean, first off, it would have carried the momentum continuously for the Raiders, since that first interception really was the turning point of the momentum. But by stopping them on the 2 right there and getting that big sack right before it, that was huge. Because of that, it's only a 1-score game still. But they had OJ snuffed out there. Now Ferguson's going to take off with it, and he's going to get a 1st down. So, you know, the tackle for loss be damned. Ferguson says, screw that, I'm going to get the 1st down anyway. It's funny, Ferguson and Hooks have outran OJ in this game so far. Ferguson has some options. He's going deep for Holland. And, oh, just off of his fingertips. Just a little bit out of reach. Now it's 3rd and 8. Oh, and they freaking blast through, and Hendricks gets the sack. Probably tackled him by his neck. As, you know, back in the 70s, you'd see the head slaps. You'd see you'd see these guys get tackled by the head. They get just slammed to the ground. It was a brutal game in the 70s. I wish that I, you know, could have been around to see those games live, especially when the Raiders played the Steelers. I mean, I've gone back and I've watched film. And I've watched original broadcasts of old games like that, but you know, it's just something different about seeing a game live, because, you know, it's the stakes are higher. If you're watching a game that's already had taken place and you know the results, it doesn't, you know, you can't replicate what you would have been watching live. And that was an interesting play call, but you know what? I think that they are they're not wanting to risk a big turnover in, you know, running it right up the middle on 3rd and long like that. I think that my devil's advocate would be, I wouldn't have called that play, but I think that it was like, hey, let's not go into the half trailing by throwing a pick. So, though it'll be 13-7 halftime, at least we're getting a competitive game here. You know, just about all the previous playoff games that I've simulated have not been interesting to watch, really. So I'm hoping that we get that this game continues the way that it's going and is more of a fun watch. So the Raiders get the ball to start the second half. And there's a big run to start the third quarter. The Bills have been playing some pretty good defense. Last couple drives, they held the Raiders to a field goal after a turnover, and then they stopped them outright on the last drive. But Bolitnikov with the leaping catch takes it inside the 10, and that's a touchdown. So that flips the game a little bit again. You know, it was a 6-point differential going at halftime. And now it's another score for the Raiders, puts them up 13, and that's 20 unanswered points since the first Bills touchdown. So the Bills defense can only do so much. They've really been the, you know, what's kept the Bills in this game, really, more than anything, but can only do so much. Aside from that first drive, the Bills' offense has been not moving too well. Bills needing something here. There's still time. They can still they don't have to abandon the running game here. But they can't be throwing into coverage because of interceptions. And Tatum, the assassin, gets the 3rd pick of the day for the Silver and Black. And I mean, that if the Raiders score here again, that'll probably do it. And they do. So, you know, I said that it was competitive at the half. The first half was a tight game. At that point, despite the fact the Bills' offense had been sputtering, but now, yeah, it's just been blown open. 27-7. And it's looking like, barring a miracle, we'll be seeing Raiders and Pats in the AFC Championship. And it's a nice catch by Chandler in coverage to give the Bills some hope. I mean, if they score before the 3rd quarter ends, they have a puncher's chance, but they still need a lot of breaks to go their way after that. Ferguson taking off for another big chunk of yards. But the Raiders will take those, you know, chunk plays all day. Especially if you can follow it up with a sack. And they're going to punt it. That's not, you know, I know that it's Tecmo AI. They'll punt it every time on 4th down and until it hits the 4th quarter. But you're down 27-7, you got to be going for it. Oh well. Maybe, just maybe, the last NFC game, playoff game of this round will be worth watching. This has been another beatdown. It took a little while, you know, for it to officially hit beatdown status. But this isn't the first game like that. The Bears and Rams wildcard game was kind of like that too, where the Bears were still in the game, but at the same time, they, you know, the Rams were more or less in control of it. And the Raiders have been in control of this game since that interception. That first interception. There's been some interceptions, so I needed to specify that. After that first interception, you know, that was it. The Bills' offense, I don't know if they even have gotten in. I think once they got into enemy territory. Yeah, the last, that was the last drive. There was a drive before the last. Or maybe it was the last drive and they just got sacked out of range and they punted. I don't know. At this point, it's all a goddamn blur. And that, you know, Stabler very well could have just ran that into the end zone. I don't think he would have been caught, even though defenders are generally faster than him. What's the difference? You can hand it off to Van Egan and get yourself another touchdown. So that's 33 unanswered points pending the extra point, which now will make it 34 unanswered. rough day for the Bills here. The defense, they kept them in it for a while. They kept them in as long as they could. But even at this point, they're just not able to do anything. I think they're just dejected in general. And, oh, man, just when it rains, it pours. A fumble. They do get the ball back, and they actually end up, you know, getting more yardage as a result of it. But, I mean, what's the difference at this point? 2 minutes left in the game. Playing for pride at this point. And they get the ball to Hooks, trying to get themselves the last ditch touchdown for to end this rough game on a high note. Just a bit overthrown. Been a couple of those today. Ferguson has been pretty good on the ground though. And he is going to take it to the 5 for a 1st and goal. Give the Bills a shot to cut this lead down a little bit. Save a little bit of dignity. And speaking of dignity, OJ takes the ball. And doesn't go very far with it. I thought that he was going to take it to the end zone. That's why I was getting all dramatic with that. But Hooks finishes what OJ started. On the field, anyway. He looked really good, Hooks did, on that opening drive. He probably has some pretty good stat line, mainly because of that and, you know, the touchdowns and everything like that. But, I mean, look at the scoreboard. At the end of the day, it's the only thing anybody cares about. Stable's going to risk some injury here on the last play of the game because, you know, what the hell, it's the 70s and everybody's coked up and it doesn't matter. 34-14, the Raiders win. They dominate, really. The only thing that, you know, actually Joe Ferguson was the leading rusher for the Bills. A little bit surprised by that, but not at the same time not, because Hooks he had some good runs on the first drive, but he mostly stalled out the rest of the way. Ferguson was steady and strong throughout. With his runs, just didn't get any big ones. Blitnikoff had 115 yards receiving, and Vanny just about cracked the century mark rushing on 11 carries. So, that's it. The Raiders will be playing the Patriots in the AFC Championship. And we will be playing the winner of Rams and Cowboys in the NFC Championship. So, you know, it's interesting potential Super Bowl combinations here. Here we go. Last game of this round. Cowboys and Rams. These are two teams, I think I mentioned it earlier in previous videos of the season. These are teams that you'd see in the playoffs all the goddamn time in the 70s. The Rams were basically the team of the West. The Cowboys were basically the team of the East. And the Vikings are pretty much the team of the Central. And just about every year throughout the 70s, you'd see one of these teams in the playoffs representing the NFC. There were exceptions. The Redskins had, they were pretty good. They got in there. But it was, these were the teams you'd see. The Rams only got in the Super Bowl once. Cowboys got in. There were 4 Super Bowls for the Vikings that they lost all 4 of them. And a pick off here by Dallas. And Staubach is going to have some good field position here to start off the drive. And he's going to throw a touchdown into a crowd. Well, Golden Richards, gets the score. I wouldn't say it was a crowd, but he was covered. And Dallas strikes first. 7-0. Rams will have to answer back to that one. That was a rough start to this game. Only a minute and a half into it, and Rams have thrown a pick and given up a touchdown. This game is in Dallas. That was wow. So they actually called the play, but gave up the first down anyway, thanks to some shrugging off of the defenders. Harris play fakes and throws it into coverage. There were other options, man. We're gonna get a nice run here into Dallas territory. But, you know, they blew up the next one, so it's been a lot of 2 steps forward, 1 step back on this drive, but if they keep it going, that, you know, they might be able to get some points out of the drive. And there's another first down. They're cooking with oil now. But even still, it's like every yard is a fight here. They're not. It's nice block there by the defender. They're not like carving up this defense by any stretch. They're having to scrap for all of them. Could have gone deep, but you know, he pitched it out to the running back in the flat and got a first down out of the deal. Thing is, you don't know. You know, it's like, yeah, there's guys open downfield, but especially in the end zone, sometimes the quarterback will throw a little too far, and the receiver can't do a damn thing about it because it's out of bounds. Oh, and down to the 1, but he does get the first down. And that is a touchdown. So that was a hard-fought drive for the Rams. Like I said, they weren't carving them up. But Cappelletti finishes off the drive with a touchdown. And the Rams get on the board. They strike back after a rough beginning to the quarter by throwing the pick and then giving up the touchdown. If they would have gone 3 and out in that drive, you know, it's like I said before, the game is in Dallas. Even though there's no home field advantage or anything like that, still I like to think that there's some element of that. And the crowd would be, at Texas Stadium, would be going absolutely nuts. That is a very un-Staubach-like pass to, like, the 5th row of the crowd. And there's a play fake. And that pass is almost blocked. Instead, it's picked. So, a turn of fortune there. Started off with a Dallas interception. An interception by Dallas, which led to a Dallas touchdown. And then you got a Rams touchdown followed by an interception by the Rams. So, weird swings in this game. But the Rams have the momentum now. They scored and then got an interception. And now they're throwing it to Jackson. And he might take it all the way, and he does. Actually, I almost called that a little prematurely. Harold Jackson scores. I didn't think there was a guy in the end zone there waiting for him. Kind of blended in there. So, Rams strike again, and, you know, it was looking like Dallas just had piss and vinegar. They got the pick, they got the touchdown, they get a sack on the next drive. Everything seems to be going their way. And then, you know, it's the change of momentum. It happens in the NFL all the time. It happens in the playoffs quite a bit. And the Cowboys are going to do some trickery here with the reverse. And it works. First down. You don't see that play work all that often. But when it does, it's cool to see happen. Nice leaping catch by Billy Joe Dupree. And Dallas is in business again. And they pick up 1 yard on the ground there by Laidlaw. Dennison's getting stopped. They could not get much going on those 2 runs, but they did get 2 yards. So if they get this first down by 1 yard, then those yards would have made all the difference in the world. But they cannot do it, so they're forced to kick a field goal and cut this lead down to 4. And they do. Bad kick by Dallas, and you know, it's now the Rams are in business here to score. They got plenty of time to do it too before the half ends, so they can do shit like this. Hand it off to Cappelletti for a nice 7-yard gain. Eats up a little bit of clock, but you know, you're not too worried about that right now. You got a good amount of time. You can run these, you know, short yardage. Oh shit! And there's a pick by Harris. That was tough. All 3 of the receivers were covered. I might have just tucked the ball and ran, but you know, it's heat of the moment. You also don't want to take a sack and lose the good field position that you have. The reverse he picked up 8 yards, but it ate up a lot of clock. And they're going back to the ground again. Laidlaw runs it just about into enemy territory. I don't know if they're going to have time to get points here. There's not a lot of urgency here. Laidlaw with another run. He's not very fast. Now you only got time for a Hail Mary, which the Cowboys are capable of pulling off in playoff games in the divisional round in the 70s. It's not the same team, but, you know, they're not going to do that. They're going to head through the fucking reverse again. And, you know, they get the ball to the 14-yard line, but it's too bad that it's halftime. But Cowboys, you know, they've been known, not at this time, but they have been known to run out of time running the ball in the playoffs to close out the halves or close out the games. And that was quite the freaking coverage there. They got them down at the inside the 1. And they are going to swarm them, and the safety is commenced. I guess. And another bad kick. Shit, they just the life has been sucked out of the Cowboys here. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought after they, you know, drove down and kicked the field goal, they stopped all the momentum the Rams had, and now here they take the ball right back, so Washington gets a pick. So it wasn't totally all for naught. They did give up a safety, so it's, you know, it's now a 6-point game instead of a 4-point game. But the Cowboys have the ball, and now they don't have the ball. The Rams do after a fumble. Holy shit snacks. This game is just going back and forth like a pendulum. I'm glad to finally see a game like this, but as crazy as this game has been and as close as it is right now, if the Rams do get points on this drive, it's going to then be an uphill battle for the Cowboys. And it looks like Cappelletti's going to set the Rams up for some nice field position to do so. So even a field goal here puts them up 2 scores. Cowboys need another turnover here. But instead they're going to give up a touchdown. And now, oh, McCutcheon. Don't know who he is. Or how to pronounce his name properly. I'm going to have a stroke here just trying to do that. So Cowboys have the work cut out for them now. It's been a weird, you know, flow to this game with the turnovers and the safeties and everything. It's been nuts. But the Cowboys need to score here and get some momentum back. Not to mention, just out of sheer desperation, they're down 2 scores. And we're at the late stage of the third quarter. It doesn't help when you get sacked on 3rd down and have to punt it. Well, the punter's doing a better job than the kicker is. Inside the 15, so about the 13-yard line to start. They're not really in safety danger here. like the Cowboys were. I mean, that was the big thing. They tackled them on the 1 on the kickoff return and ended up getting a safety as a result. See, like, if they had punted just a little bit more, they would have tackled them behind the line of scrimmage, although, you know, they're not even back to their original line of scrimmage at this point. And that was a nice pass to Jesse. Clutch 3rd down pickup there. Keeps the ball and keeps the control of the game in their hands. If they had to punt it there, who knows? Maybe Dallas scores by the time it's, you know, the early stages of the 4th. And there's enough time to kick the ball off and get another stop before scoring again. Instead, they have to get sacks. They have to get turnovers. It's 3rd and a mile here, so they could convert this, but it's less likely. And oh shit, I thought Harris was gonna split those defenders and make it actually happen. Instead, they're gonna force a punt. So the Cowboys do get the punt forced, but I mean that as simple as it was, getting that 1st down helped out. It ate up some clock. Otherwise, the Cowboys might have the ball closer to the end zone with less time to have to work with. With more time to work with, I mean. Instead, now it's 4.5 minutes left in regulation. And they're going to hand the ball off to Dennison. I would be more urgent about this. I mean, that's a nice 1st down and everything. But tick, 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 tick. You know, you're down 13 points. I know that that was why throw it to him, man. I know in obvious passing situations, it's, you know, there's a better chance that the defender will call your play. And oh my god, he had a receiver open too. It's like, why not go deep at this point? You pretty much have to. Throw it deep to Pearson. Yes, that's how you do it. I mean, I'm not rooting for the Cowboys here because I fucking hate the Cowboys. But I want to see a close game. I want to see a good game here in these playoffs. That's not a heart stopper of a game that is not mine. And the onside kick does not work. I don't know if I would have done that there. Because, you know, it's like you have to... Now you have to... you can't give up a field goal here. You know, you're already down 6. And that's not going to help the cause at all. They need a fumble. They need a turnover. Because they basically... It's chip shot range here for the kicker. And they blitzed him. It would have been better to get a sack there, you know, push him back as far as possible. But also, at least you get the tackle off quicker. Ugh, look at this open hole, though. That's a 1st down. Rams are about to put the game away here, barring some kind of a turnover. And they score. That's it. So it will be Bucks and Rams in the NFC title game. At least this game wasn't too bad. At least there was, you know, there was a chance there. There was a glimmer of hope for the Cowboys in the 4th quarter. It wasn't a blowout, but the Rams definitely had... They always seemed to be one step ahead of Dallas throughout this game. McLean just decimates Staubach behind the line. You know, I don't know if being down 13 in the playoffs with almost a minute left is a good time to be doing the reverse, especially when you're in your own territory. But to each his own, I guess. And there's a pick. That will put the game away. Officially. Well, not officially. Officially when the clock hits 0. But in case there was any doubt, for whatever reason there isn't anymore. In Rams and Bucks, that was an NFC Championship game in '79. It was the one time the Rams did get to the Super Bowl during all that insanity of what I was talking about before. The Cowboys, Rams, and Vikings just being the dynasties of the 70s. Or at least the perennial playoff teams. I can't call the Rams a dynasty if they only made it to one Super Bowl and lost. But they were still very strong throughout that decade. Anyway, that is it for this game. The Rams did not throw for 100 yards. Most of their damage was done on the ground. Also, their defense coming through with big turnovers and a safety, too, just for the hell of it. So 30-17 is the final. The Cowboys just were too far away. They were having to play catch-up. They did make it interesting in the fourth, but that was it. Could not recover the onside kick, and that was that. So it will be Rams against Bucks in the NFC Championship. Meanwhile, it's Raiders and Patriots in the AFC side of things. I am... well, once again, I'm going to have to simulate. I'm going to show the games in reverse order next week on the video. I'll show my game first and then show the AFC game. Just because I can't play my game first. It doesn't let you. So it'll be weird, but it will be what it is. I know I will not lay out any spoilers of the AFC game during my game, the same way as I haven't done yet in any of the other ones. So I'm hoping for Raiders and Bucks. And the funny thing is, I mean, it's because the Raiders are my team, and the funny thing is that I'm going to be playing as the team that beat them in the Super Bowl when the one and only time I was able to see my team in the Super Bowl. So an interesting twist of irony there, if that ends up happening. I mean, for when I watch it, it'll probably be Rams and fucking Patriots. As I'm saying this. So that'll be it next week. That'll be the situation. It'll be the AFC and NFC championship games. And then we'll finish off the Tecmo season with the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl the week after that. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. If you watched all 4 of these games, I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.